Joey, did at any time you think that, hey, man, we're taking this whole thing of Extreme Championship Wrestling, this whole thing a little too extreme? We're taking this too far? Because you guys were balls out. It was just one snowballing, violence escalating. What was your thoughts on that? I mean, you're sitting there watching this every single week, calling it up close and personal, and watching these guys put their lives on the line.
You know, absolutely, and I'll remember the moment where it was the violence and the spirit of what we did was just too much, and unfortunately, it happened when Kurt Angle, who was not yet in our industry, but was an Olympic gold medalist, had just won the gold medal and was a guest at the ECW Arena, and I had the pleasure of interviewing him in the ring, which was great because I remember watching him win the gold medal. Didn't know he had a broken back. So we do the interview. He's now up on the stage watching this with me and Paul, and this is the night that Raven crucified the Sandman on an actual crucifix that Sandman had built because he was a construction worker. They crucified him and made him a crown of barbed wire. And nobody knew that was going to happen, you know, with the exception of the people involved.
Right.
And my guess would be Paul, despite the fact that he denied it. And I'm standing next to Kurt Angle. I'm Catholic. I believe Kurt is. He turns to me because I'm the guy in the suit, so I must have some authority.
Yeah, of course.
And starts screaming at me, and I'm apologizing. I'm like, sir, I had absolutely no idea, and he is screaming.
And that's a shoot, right? You didn't know?
No. Now, of course, at this point, Paul's nowhere to be found. All of a sudden, now the crap's hitting the fan, and, you know, now it's just me and the Olympic gold medalist.
So what's your reaction to this? You're trying to say to Angle, you know, settle down. I can't believe it either. So your gut reaction is what? Horror?
Horror. Absolute horror. Who thought of this? Who thought this was a good idea? Not only for the people involved, for the blue-collar Italian fans in South Philadelphia, who thought this was, you know, we all know it's the only time I ever saw in the ECW arena, you know, we call it heat. For your fans listening who may not be wrestling fans, we call it heat, which is when, you know, the fans really turn on a villain or a heel. This was bad heat. Like, not we're angry with you and we want to pay to see you get your ass kicked. Like, we want to hop the rail and kick your ass for real and, like, maybe to see you thrown in jail. So I guess Paul went to Raven and made him apologize for his use of religious iconography, which I believe is the way Raven put it, and Paul maintained that he didn't know anything about it, and Raven backed up that story, and I would like to know how much Raven/Scotty got paid to say that.
Right.
But that was about the worst thing, because it wasn't just violence, and it wasn't just a violent image, it was just offensive on so many levels, and I got my ass chewed out by a man who could tear off my arms and legs without breaking a sweat for an Angle.
Oh, yeah. That hurt highly. That's great.
That's great.
What happened to Joey? He got his arms, legs torn off by Angle. It was all a misunderstanding.